Greetings, everyone, from Hot Phoenix. Welcome to Resilient Living, another episode. And today I'd like to talk about the idea of enlightened solutions. And I'll begin with a cliff note that I think summarizes or culls a lot of thoughts about what an enlightened solution is and what it isn't. So let me begin with that. Enlightened solutions dissolve pollution and confusion and cloud the mind with the profusion and illusions that do not work. To get clear, steer clear into the light, seek inspiration, and let go of desperation and exasperation and things that have never worked. Put your will aside and stride into higher ground and listen for the sound of the still small voice of God that guides you. So step onto higher ground for a solution that is enlightened. Enlightened with what? Enlightened with divine wisdom. Enlightened with deep understanding that covers a lot of right thinking. And how do you steer clear and get into the light? Pray and meditate. Take some time in prayer. Take some time in reflection. And then seek inspiration from things that have always inspired you. Sometimes beautiful art, sometimes great music, and all of a sudden a great idea will pop in. Seek the inspiration that you've gotten in the past from spiritual leaders or still do. People who have traveled the road that you want to be on and have gone places spiritually and in their lives that you want to go. And so there are some things that I say an enlightened solution is. Not all. There are lots of ways of looking at an enlightened solution. Let me say this, though, that an enlightened solution, one that is divinely inspired, let's say, is always clear, concise, and cultivating. It is always good, gracious, and giving. And it is always healing, helpful, and harmonizing. Harmonizes all your thoughts, brings all the opposites and the thesis and antithesis this way and that, brings it all into one solution that perhaps includes it all, but is something much better than either or. And so I offer you this. I had a conversation with a really good friend of mine. She said, what are you going to talk about? And I said, I'm going to talk about enlightened solutions. And she said, well, what is one? And I said, seek God's will, not your own. Go with God's will, not your own. Because my own will sometimes gets in my way big time because I want what I want when I want it, and I'm not seeing a clear picture. And maybe I haven't prayed about it. Maybe I haven't sought a divine solution. Any of my solutions or ways of taking on a problem or trying to solve it in my life have not always worked if they come out of fear, for sure. If they come out of some kind of doubt or worry, if they come out of a grudge, perhaps, or if they come out of the way I'm misjudging someone. So I can never get into someone else's head, but I sure have tried, and it really has not worked well for me. So I know now to pray and meditate, and I watch for clues because I think Spirit gives us clues. I watch for the clues. I listen because maybe I will hear something that leads me to a right and perfect next step. So there is a good next step always when we're in a dilemma, in a challenge, in a difficulty, in a disappointment. And so it'll be God's will, because God's will is always clear, concise, and cultivating. It is always good, gracious, and giving, and it is always healing, helpful, and harmonizing. So as you go into your week, I hope you will take time to seek a divine solution, get your mind out of the problem and onto higher ground. God bless you and have a wonderful week.